I'm chasing sunsets here in the middle of Derbyshire once again, so why not come and join me on this week's Landscape Adventures. The weather is erratic as hell today. It's sunny, it's rainy, it's hammering it down, it's absolutely gorgeous, it's blinding, and just every few minutes it's changing. So of course I'm going to take this opportunity to go to Chesterfield today. Now I drove through Chesterfield on the way to Lumsdale Falls before, and there were quite a few spots there that I thought I'd like to go back and check out. It's now nearly 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's going to take me about an hour to get there. Hopefully I'll have a few hours before the sun sets, and hopefully I'll be able to find somewhere for a nice sunset position as well. I'm also really excited because I've got this. I'm far too excited for what it really is, which is a pretty timid piece of equipment. It's a weight adjuster thing for tripods. Basically it just means I can tie it to my tripod and put stones in it and it'll give it some extra weight. I can also hang my bag off it as well, which is quite a nice thing as well. So that saved me a few quid on buying a new tripod. I keep putting it off, but I just can't bring myself to spend the amount of money on a tripod that I need to get something significantly better than what I've got. So this was 15 quid as opposed to 300, 400 quid. Anyway, let's see how this goes. I'll see you at Chesterfield. So I drove through Chesterfield and unfortunately my internal compass let me down. I thought I knew where I was going and I thought I knew where I was heading to find some nice views. As it happened, I didn't have a clue where I was. So I put into the sat-nav the location for Lumsdale Falls, which is where I was last week. And of course that took me on the route towards that area. When I got comfortable, I came off the route and I'm now in a place called Farley. Farley is, what I can see, it's on a huge hill and there's some absolutely fantastic views out here. Also, I'm looking out over the hill towards the west, which is where the sun's going to set, so that's a really good thing as well. There's some interesting buildings on the hillside as well, so I'm hoping that they'll come across well. There's a nice sort of bunch of trees at the top of the hill as well, so there's a little bit of potential here for some interesting shots. I think I'm just going to have a walk around. I'm going to walk up the hill. I've parked about halfway down. I'm going to walk up the hill, see what I can find, and take it from there, really. There's quite a lot of stuff nearby, though, so I've got lots of options. I'm not far from Matlock Bath again if I need to go there. Yeah, I'm going to carry on looking. There's not much here. I've been up a hill, been down a couple of paths. The views are pretty much the same. There's nothing happening in the sky as well, which doesn't help. There is a path, but it just kind of seems to lead in some kind of woodland, and the trees are obscuring the view of the hills and what's on the other side. So I think I'm going to go up on this location. I think I'm going to go back to the car, go back down the hill and keep exploring, because there's quite a lot around here, so I'm sure I'll find something interesting. I guess this was the risk I took today. The rain does seem to be calming a little bit now, so I'm hopeful I'll be able to go out and shoot somewhere. It's going to be on and off though, so I knew that. I was expecting that when I came out. I'm now in Matlock Bath. Again, I've parked halfway up a hill. There's a public footpath down here that I intend to go and check out. I'm near the Heights of Abraham and the various touristy parts of it as well. So I'm going to go out on the camera when the rain dies off a little bit. Seems to be dying off now, touch wood. Yeah, it's a difficult day so far, but I've got 3 hours still until sunset, so there's plenty of time to get something still. I've just walked up through this open here. You can probably hear it's really peaceful here, no one around at all. Of course there's the top of the hill, the other side. I'm going to carry on walking this way, up this path, which is obviously going to take me higher, and hopefully I'll find something of interest there. This never seems to end. I'm on the public footpath. I went quite high, and then had the option of going left or right. I went right. I took the wimp's option if I'm honest, because the left route was definitely more as nature intended it. This has been smoothed out to make way for a road so that the house owners can get their vehicles here. There's still really not an awful lot to take photos of. Weather of course doesn't help. I'm sure a lot of things would look a lot better in some nice weather, but also a lot of the good stuff is on private property. It just feels a bit wrong to be taking pictures of that. Someone's got a gorgeous treehouse over there. The stuff of childhood dreams. There's a path here through some growth, but I'm going to carry on going this way. I am getting higher, and what's good about this route, this direction, is that there's more opening, so you can see more of the hill on the other side, which is why I think there's a better chance of getting some photos up here. Let's see how it goes. That didn't work. I'm now going down the hill, as you can probably tell. Still on the same path. This is now a road. This is presumably going to take me now back down into Matlock Bath. So I think I'm going to carry on going this way. Hopefully it will take me down into the town centre, because there are a few shots down there that I wanted to get, and it could be quite a good time to get them now while it's a little bit moody and there's no public around. I've just spotted this sign, public footpath. So this will definitely take me down that way. So I'm going to head down this route and see where it goes. This is interesting right away. Some kind of remains of an old building. I love stuff like this. Not quite sure what I'm going to be able to do with it from here though. There's not a lot to put it into context, and I'm not sure I can get a great angle on it. In fact, this composition here with me in it is probably about as interesting as it's going to get. Let's see if I can do something. Well, the heavens have opened again. I did get a couple of pictures of it from a couple of different angles. I did one portrait, one landscape. I also found a little man hiding in a cave, which I've taken a picture of as well, which is quite cool, I think. Obviously, now my camera is wearing its shower cap. I'm just going to, I think, sit it out for a few minutes, see if this clears up. It's mainly been fairly quick showers today, although they have also been quite intense. So if I carry on going down and end up somewhere more open, I do risk getting drenched. I might just play around for a bit while I'm here. As I'm here, I might as well. I just took a picture of some of the steps I've been coming down, and to be honest, it's been much of the same coming down this hill. It looks like it's the same the rest of the way as well, so I don't anticipate anything coming out of the rest of this journey down the hill. I think it's time to get back to the ground floor level, if you like, of Matlock Bath and do the photos I was going to do there. It's still raining. I've still got the shower cap on my camera. This rain is showing no signs of stopping whatsoever. But don't worry, because neither is my idiocy. I'm currently at Derwent Gardens, and I'm now sat in a fountain. Well, not in a fountain, as you can appreciate, but next to a fountain, in a little shack thing that it's hidden in. It's really, really pretty here. It's a really nice little place. I'm going to get some sort of set piece shots of all the various touristy things around here, so at least I've got something to take away with me. Slight problem though, I've completely lost track of where I am, but more importantly where my car is. Because I went up into the hills and then came down again, I've gone nowhere near the route that I followed outwards. So I have a feeling that my car is further down that way, and I've just got to go up a hill. But I honest to God can't remember even which road I took off the main road. This is going to be interesting. Thank God we've got lots of time. Well, I've been messing around in here for ages now. I've probably overdone it. The rain has stopped. One thing I have learnt though is that I'm very, very good at knocking the auto aperture button on my wide angle lens. Now, I swapped over lenses while I was in here because I wanted to try and get the full detail of everything that was in there. I think it's gone alright. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those that I'm kind of in awe of it when I'm here at the moment, but it might not look quite as good when I get it back to the computer. But we'll have to see. I really like the contrast from the light to the dark within this space itself. There's going to be no movement within the water, unfortunately, because there's not much in there anyway, and I don't think it's going to come out in the sort of slower shutter speeds, but we'll see. I think it's time to take a wander further down. I might just do the fountain while I'm here and see what else I come across. I should say, by the way, I'm walking along the River Derwent, so there'll probably be a few things that I'll find along the way as well. It is really beautiful here, and there's clearly a lot of history. One of the things I really like is I don't know what these things are, these little kind of tunnel things that people sit in. There's various things inside them. A lot of them have got fountains in them, some have got benches in them, there's all sorts. And of course there's these very historic Victorian electricity boxes, of course. We've also got over here this wonderful bridge, which I've just tried to take some photos of as well, which is really nice. Hopefully they'll come out okay. I mean, again, there's not a huge amount of angles you can go from here, and with a lack of sunlight it's all a little bit dull. I think I might just do a couple more and then start heading back to the car. The roads around here are actually quite picturesque as well. You can see there's a bit of sun coming through the top of the clouds now, and unfortunately there's still quite a lot of cloud cover and just a little bit of sun coming through. However, I think I found the street where I left my car, so I'm going to start walking up that hill and hope it's the right one. If it's not, I haven't got a clue where I am. Fingers crossed. Right, I made it back to my car. This sun is really antagonising me. I need to see if I can get over the other side of the hill, because there's nothing I can do this side. It's just not gonna, there's not gonna be interesting shots. So I'm gonna see what I can find. I'm gonna get driving. I'm now properly in the middle of nowhere. I've had to wait to find somewhere to pull over. It's absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, I'm on the top of a hill. There's no one around. Got these old country roads. There's some wonderful farm buildings. There's some wonderful farm animals with some fantastic light coming over the top. It's shaving the top of these wonderful fields filled with colourful things. I really should know more about what they are, but I don't. I apologise. So anyway, I'm just going to leave the car here and I'm going to keep walking back, and I might be walking quite a while. Thankfully I've brought some food with me, or I brought a protein bar anyway. So I'm just going to walk down here, and this reminds me of when I came out to a field in the middle of nowhere in Suffolk a few years ago. I took some of my favourite photos there, so let's see what we can do here. But this looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm really looking forward to this. I think I'm done down here. I'm going to head back to the car. I've gone as far back as I wanted to. Unfortunately the light has, as it does this time of day, just dipped that little bit beyond where I wanted it to be, so I've kind of lost that wonderful little gleam and a little bit of backlighting on certain subjects that I wanted. So unfortunately I got here a few minutes too late. However, the sky is looking absolutely gorgeous. I suspect we're going to get some kind of reddy purpley sunset. So I'm going to go back to the car. I'm going to keep driving in that direction because it goes up even further, and I think there's a good chance we're going to find some wonderful subjects for the sunset. I've also got a picture of this wonderful dilapidated barn here. I don't know if it's dilapidated. I always say dilapidated, don't I? I don't know whether it's dilapidated. They all look the same, don't they? They're hardly going to be kept like a flipping 5-star hotel. Yeah, anyway, I took a nice picture of that. A couple of buildings, actually farm buildings. So, let's keep going, get back to the car, keep driving and see what happens. It doesn't look like we're going to get the sunset I thought we were going to get, annoyingly. So I have driven to Matlock Bath again to get myself some chips, and annoyingly all the chip shops are closed. I don't know how successful it's been today in terms of photos, but I've had a really nice day. I really enjoyed driving through the hills searching for that final sunset shot. It's disappointing it didn't come, but you know, that's the way it goes. So thank you again for coming with me. As always, please leave your comments below. I always love hearing from you. Give me a like, that's really helpful, and of course hit that subscribe button, particularly if you've watched this far. And thanks as always to everyone who has already. So I'm going to leave you with the photos from the day, and I will see you next time.